Tape marker. Obi-Wan Episode 2, guys. Let's get right to it. Action. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? I'm Ryan, D.A. Ryan680.
I'm Angela with that Cali Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, check out our other movie reviews out there. Check out our other TV stuff that we got going on this week. We got a lot of good Star Wars Celebration coming out, Star Wars content coming out very soon. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, guys. Let's get right to it. Angela, you didn't get to do the review with me, part 1. What do you think of part 1? And then let's talk about episode 2, guys, because we're going full-on spoilers. I know last review I said we weren't, but this review we're going to do full-on spoilers because it was so hard for myself not to mention any spoilers on the first one. It was just like, oh yeah, and then wait, I have to stop.
I mean, you can't because it's like you're basically judging how the episode unfolded, and you can't do that if you can't say what happened.
Exactly. There's just certain things you just can't say because people get upset about it, right? I mean, who would have thought a world like that?
It's spoilers, so
yeah, spoilers.
Be warned.
Let's get right to it, guys. Angela, what do you think of episode 1 real quick of this part 1 series?
So to recap part 1, it was so great to see Ewan McGregor. Still loved him in the 3 prequels, but I really like that we get to see him again. Yeah. Now, his character, though, it's so that, like, the opening scene was shocking. Yeah. Like, to have it, like, Order 66 being executed right now.
That was good. It was
brilliant. So great. But
that was awesome. I loved it.
We see it, like, 10 years later, right? Mm-hmm. So he has whisked away Leia and Luke to, like, their respective parties to grow up. He's watching them. But in general, he's so deflated as a character. He's
defeated a lot.
And it's understandable because he's right. They lost. They lost the war. The clones won. And Palpatine rose to power.
I mean, I don't want to say he's stuck in the past. Not that has made any significant,
but he's stuck in survival mode.
Yeah, and it's just like he doesn't want. And we see it a lot when the Jedi really comes to him saying, "Obi-Wan, help me! Obi-Wan, help me!" He literally brings a freaking lightsaber, and he's like, "Obi-Wan, help me! Help me," and just like, and he doesn't even, I mean, it just feels defeated. He doesn't want to help anybody. I'm frustrated.
Like, it's not that he doesn't want to. He still has that, like, want to help and be there for people as he was. But it's just hard because if he does, he
reveals himself.
He reveals himself. Yep. So he's
to the Inquisitors
strictly in survival mode.
Exactly.
He's trying to do his best to just get on with life. But you still see the kindness in him. Like, he works at, like, that meat shop. He takes a little piece of meat for his creature. Yeah. So you still see the kindness in him, though, the urge to want to be a good person. But it's just so hard for him in this world because you're right. They're still actively hunting Jedi. Yeah. And it's like, it's not just that, but any association with Jedi could get people in trouble. So I totally get why he feels defeated. Yeah. But I do like, kind of going into episode 2, we see Senator Bail Organa.
Yeah, dude, he looks great. It's like, it's weird. Now, we talked about this off camera, was that it's so great because they're at the right age. Physically, right now, they're at the right age where we never could have expected it because, episode 1, 2, and 3 came out so long ago.
And they even spoke to it. It's 10 years later.
Yeah,
so
10
if
years.
they were young men now, and they're a little bit older now.
Organa's all he's right. He's just like, it's time to move on from the past, Obi-Wan. Like, you made your mistakes. We all made our mistakes. We failed. Like, they were the good guys. They failed. I mean, look at Yoda failed to defeat the Emperor. I mean, they failed. They fell for the trap. They fell for the whole fake war. That's what they're calling it in the Sith book, in the Sith Holocron. It's the fake war that Emperor Palpatine, which we all knew, and we all saw. I just wish we saw more of those elements besides episode 3. Was that we wish we saw more of it, but we saw more of it in Clone Wars as far as live action goes. Like those little his grim smile, and he's like trying to provoke the Senate in a certain way. Yeah.
So I mean, I like the prequels are great.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're good. They're
good. They're not like exceptional, but they're good. But if you want to expand on the universe, definitely Clone Wars is where it came in, and I love Clone Wars. It was like what?
It's more politics. It's more about money. It's about everything. They really expand on so many different characters in this series, and it's so good. It's on Disney Plus. So check it out, guys. If you have not already, I'm pretty sure you have. But let's go. Let's do a recap of episode 2 real quick. Part 2.
Like, we get to part 2, and it kind of sets up where Bail essentially goes to Obi-Wan and pleads with him. They took my daughter Leia. Yep. She's spunky. Gotta admit that. Love it. She gets it from her mom.
She's just like her mom. And I was like, dude, Padme, like at her finest, is just. I just loved it because she's so proper about it.
But she's so like you say, proper.
Yeah.
But still, she has that like
that mean, not mean,
it's spirit in her. Yeah. Like she's
standing up for herself.
She is. Reality, she has that spirit to push against conventional.
And just because she is small and short, and her cousin was really tall and big, and he's like all significant, he's all superior.
He's fearless.
He's literally with his chest up like this, and it's
that's just great. So I love Leia. She's love her. Yeah. She's a spunky little kid. Love her. So we see that she's been kidnapped, and Bail comes to Obi-Wan. He's like, please come get her. Yeah. I don't trust anybody else.
No bounty hunter, nothing.
He knows the risk of what he's asking, but he doesn't trust anybody else. And that really propels Obi-Wan into this new adventure. He's hesitant. Yeah. He knows he's going to come out of the woodworks. It puts him at risk. Yes. And we see him take on this mission. Goes to, the planet to track her down.
Dayu, yeah.
Yeah. And then that's where kind of things kind of like start to get
a few things we're going to skim through real quick. So a few things we did notice. We did notice that there is a clone trooper there. Now, if the helmet's correct, and we don't know because it didn't really, but Obi-Wan seemed like he knew him a very long time. Not necessarily because he's a clone, though. I kind of feel like he knew him because it's Rex, and almost to that sense, we don't know if it's Rex or not. We're hypothetically here, we're just really throwing out theory there. I believe it's Rex. I could be totally wrong. You say, Ryan, what the heck? You said it was Rex. Oh, I could be totally wrong. But as far as the facts goes, it's a helmet. Obi-Wan stared at him for a very long time. Not because he's a clone, though. I don't know. It could be just he's a clone.
Well, it's not just that. They have clones there. They do. They're there because we see them in another scene.
Yeah, but like
you see the blue from like the commander uniform.
Yeah, it just
so it just kind of piques your interest a little bit more.
It just definitely seemed like he knew him personal. That's why I kind of felt like Ewan McGregor was staring at him for a while.
Now, if that is not him, just a random veteran trooper, fine. But it just seems our theory. There's a little bit more to that than just seeing an old trooper from back in the day.
Definitely. Now going back to the next scene, we got the fake Jedi here. The fake Jedi that actually did not mind. I thought I was all like, oh great, it's this guy.
I like that guy.
He was okay in the Eternals. He was funny in the Eternals. Okay, I would say that.
The actor,
he was funny in Eternals.
I like him. He's funny.
And to add him really in the Star Wars universe, really, it was good. I enjoyed his take. I mean, he was playing a fake Jedi. He was just like, and he had a little bun thing. It was so funny.
Smoke and mirrors with magnets,
It was funny.
Trying to con people out of money. Yeah. But it was
makes sense.
Funny to see Ewan McGregor kind of pick up on that right
Call
away.
Him out. Yeah.
Call him out. Essentially. Yeah. So we kind of see him at the beginning of the episode when he first meets Obi-Wan. And then kind of towards the end a little bit, we kind of circle back.
And then the trap is gone too. So we find out. Yeah.
But the big question is, can this person be trusted?
I don't know.
There's a couple scenes in there that you're like, they're in it for the money.
Yeah.
So you don't know. For the credits.
Do I love credits? Yeah, man. Like he's all like, yeah, man, of course I love credits.
It makes you question, can he be trusted? And how is this character going to, come back to? How are we going to come back to this character later on?
And so, furthermore into this story, the trap is sprung. The bounty hunters, Obi-Wan ends up getting out of this trap here, and he actually finds out, he fell for the bait. He did. Not necessarily, he fell for the bait. We know the third sister actually does she really calls him out and really finds out that Obi-Wan's still alive this whole time.
So that's another question too. Is
so the third sister? I'm gonna go on record, Reva. I'm gonna go on record and say I just don't like her character, and I just don't like. I feel like she's trying way too hard. Again, that's just my perspective here. I could be, Ryan, what are you talking about? I'm just telling you right now, it's coming up across way too much. But I feel like we're missing something,
We are. We definitely. I don't remember this character from Clone Wars.
No, she's not. She was specifically made for this.
And then that begs the question: what history does she have with him? She obviously has this hatred,
a grudge
against Obi-Wan specifically. And we haven't seen it. We've seen it before. Darth Maul had the grudge on Obi-Wan. Yeah. In all of Clone Wars, Rebels, all that stuff. But see,
even so, in Rebels, we saw the Inquisitors, a lot of them. We saw the Grand Inquisitor too. They didn't really. I mean, they had hatred, but they wasn't as. It didn't take it as personal. Yeah, which is weird because I'm just it just comes across too personal where it gets too overwhelming, and I feel like it doesn't really exceed well as far as when it comes out.
But it's so early on the series.
It is.
I'm sure they'll explain it.
As of right now, I don't like it. And then we find out that she kills the Grand Inquisitor later in this episode. Which is whack. It's some BS, dude. That is some BS. How are you going to kill the Grand Inquisitor that, it didn't make any sense to me? I'm all like, wait, This is the same Grand Inquisitor in Rebels, right? Like, he was clever. I mean, he wasn't smart like Thrawn was, but he was clever.
He was very like strategic.
Yeah.
And he knew how to hunt Jedi.
How did he not call this? Like, he knew, I mean, he knew she was reckless to the beginning. How did he not know it was, it just didn't make any sense to me, right? So that was my major concern in episode 2, was that, like, wait, this is the Grand Inquisitor, unless it's not.
Well, for me, it's more like, if she has been this way, they knew that was her personality. She's reckless. She doesn't really follow orders very well.
Yeah.
Why would they keep her on? And again, this could be answered in the coming episodes. We're only on episode 2. We have so much more to go.
A lot.
But I really am curious what the personal history behind her character and Obi-Wan's characters. What happened? She obviously knows him personally. Why she has this strong feelings towards him. Hopefully it will be revealed soon.
Yeah, and then also I do want to touch up on one last thing. Obi-Wan looks like he was exiled from the Force. Looks like he wasn't using the Force. I don't know if you remember, he's not even using his lightsaber. I don't know if it's because he's hiding. Might be because he's hiding. He doesn't want to draw attention to himself. But also, like, Leia's chemistry between Ewan McGregor, Leia and Obi-Wan's chemistry was just so good. I just loved it. It was so genuine. It was so cute. It didn't feel forced whatsoever. It just felt like they had chemistry right out the bat. I don't know, behind the scenes, when we will see, like, maybe their chemistry was just natural, or maybe it took a little while. Maybe they just took a while walking around together.
Well, he has a couple daughters, so I'm pretty sure he felt like that connection.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, because when you come into this role for so long, and you really dedicate yourself to it, we all know he did, obviously, with this series going on. So I really didn't want it to feel forced, and it didn't, not one bit as far as him goes. Now, he saved Leia at the very end of that scene where she's falling down. But he was having so much trouble of using the Force. Like, what the hell?
Well, he hasn't used it for a better part of 10 years.
I know. That was like, what the hell's going on? I don't know if it's because he doesn't want to reveal himself, or maybe he's just, because I don't know if you remember, at the very end, we get Darth Vader coming out, which he does find out. Obi-Wan finds out that Anakin is alive. And that's another thing too. How does the third sister know that Anakin is Darth Vader? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever unless she's been around since Clone Wars. It has to make sense right there. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm excited to what's to come here, guys.
We see Vader in the tank. We see him.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was good.
And it kind of begs you question, like, can he, since Obi-Wan has now essentially revealed himself, he used the Force to save Leia very briefly. Does that open him up to Vader's sense? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Exactly. So maybe that's why he was exiling himself from the Force, because of that. Because he knew Darth Vader could sense him. But then, how has he not sensed him this whole time in Tatooine when he defeats him after this series? You know what I'm saying? Maybe he just stops using it altogether once again.
Probably stops. Yep. All right, just guys. For survival. And again, I'm so excited. I really, again, love Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, this was great.
So great to see him. Love the new characters. I really can't wait to see how everything pans out.
Yeah.
This is great. Yeah. Again, it was just 2 episodes in. You know what? We have a total of 6 episodes for the series, right? So, I mean, third of the way in. And it's going to go by quick. But there's still so much story left to tell. And I can't wait. I'm loving it so far.
Ratings 1 out of 10. 10 being the highest. When you give the episode part 2. Sorry, I keep calling it episode 2 or part 2. I will give it a solid 7. Okay. Because it hasn't reached its potential yet. It's still in the setup phases, but it's good so far. I gave episode 1, part 1. I gave part 1. I give it a 9. This one, I'm going to have to give it a 7. I'm going to have to give it a 7. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that Calian.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Catch you later. Wake up, wake up.